What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now in today's video, I've got some more classic entitled parent stories for you, starting off with this one. In it, an entitled dad gets incredibly angry at an innocent guy in a coffee shop. Why, you ask? Well, because this guy was listening to heavy metal music. Entitled father goes ballistic for satanic music. Yesterday, I was out at a small coffee shop in my municipality in Sweden. I come here almost every day and have been for over 20 years. I work as an architect, and one of the ways I work best, building models and making drawings, the creative process, is by listening to music. Metal, loud rock music. Just to give an indication of the type of music, at the time this happened, the songs I was listening to were The Devil and I, Slipknot, To Be Alone by Five Finger Death Punch, Babel's Tower by Primordial, and Pneuma by Tool. Now back to the story. The old lady who works at the store, we'll call her Eva, knows me very well, to the point where she is my order waiting for me when I get there. During Corona, Eva's coffee shop hasn't been doing too well, so I make sure to leave her generous tips, and on slower days for me, I even help her tidy up the place when there's nobody around. I usually sit at a window seat, perpendicular to the counter, facing out onto the road. There's a church directly across from the coffee shop, and nothing much else around besides residential houses. I'm sitting, drawing the church, eating my quenelle bull and drinking coffee when I see a dad and two small children, probably around 8 or 9, come out of the church and into the coffee shop. Now, my town isn't a large place, and Sweden isn't a very Christian country. I'm atheist, hence the devil's music. I don't recognize any of the three people. They don't look Swedish, maybe Mediterranean, and seem to get cold by just crossing the streets. They walk in, order their meal. I notice the kids getting fussy. One of them stamps his foot, which is what got my attention, and I look up at Eva and smile at her. She deals with children a lot and likes them, unlike me, and is generally really sweet with them. Then I hear a shout. Being a 26-year-old man, I'm kind of protective of Eva because she is old and frail, and I'm very well built. So I take off one side of my headphones to listen to what's going on. It's the entitled dad shouting, "I want a discount on this cinnamon bun. I can't afford your absurd full price, and I'm struggling. Think of Corona. My kids just want a dessert." Eva replies, "I'm sorry, but I'm struggling just as much as you. I own a coffee shop in this small town. I don't care. I'm the one with little kids, and I'm the one who has to support a full family on my own. Your husband is probably dead anyway. You're ancients." At this point, I take off my headphones, big no-no, and walk over to the guy. I'm 188 centimeters, and he looks to be about 170 to 175, so I'm taller and stronger. I can tell he's a bit intimidated by my presence, but that is the point. My music is still playing, bigger no-no, as I ask him if there's a problem. He looks at me for a second. "What's coming out of your headphones?" "The amazing guitar solo from my favorite song, To Be Alone. And your BS is making me miss it. What? We'll turn it off." He takes a step away from me and ushers his kids behind him. Why would I do that? I came over here to stop you from attacking Eva, not to get attacked myself. At this point, the entitled dad is still slowly moving away. "Please, turn off that devil's song." "I will, once you apologize to Eva." "I'll call the police on you for being a missionary and a servant to Satan. Get away from me." "I'm sorry, what?" Then this guy actually pulls out his phone, types 911, and holds it out to me like it's a bomb ready to go off. I'm serious. In Sweden, he typed 911 into his phone. He has his kids behind him like he's protecting them from the unholy wrath of Satan or something. Yeah, I mean, I've just looked up the emergency number in Sweden, and it's 112, not 911. I'm not really sure what would happen if you called 911 in Sweden, to be honest. I really want to find out now. "Get away from me," he screams. Poor Eva was just kind of standing there, dumbfounded, looking at this grown man with two kids yell at me for having loud music in my headphones. Mind you, none of the songs I listed are anywhere close to doom or death metal. He then headbutted me and ran out of the door, leaving his kids in the coffee shop. I just stood there, looking between Eva and the kids, who've both started crying. Seconds later, before I can call 112, he came back with a giant golden cross, holding it out to me like I'm some sort of demon, shouting that I'd better get off of the mortal plane, yada yada yada. What is going on here? At this point, the situation's gone from this guy trying to get a discount on a cinnamon bun to trying to exorcise me. Eva and I can barely contain ourselves because this isn't even scary. He's obviously on drugs and doesn't even look threatening. When nothing he's trying works, jumping up and down, shouting, etc., he just grabs his kids and leaves. After about a minute, Eva and I are laughing hard at this guy's absolute idiocy. Sometimes I wonder what comes over people to even be capable of this sort of thing. I guess drugs? Anyway, that's all there is to it. I honestly wouldn't be too sure it's drugs, to be honest, because how irresponsible would you have to be with your kids and be high on drugs? I mean, maybe the actions kind of suggest that maybe this guy could be on something, but honestly, I reckon he was just, kind of embarrassed at his actions and was caught out by you and probably felt threatened, intimidated, and just went absolutely crazy, chucking a golden cross at you just because you're listening to heavy metal. Madness. I don't think you need drugs for that. I think you just need to be a bit of a mad dad. As I mentioned during the story though, I really want to know what happens if you call 911 when you're not in America. Do you still get through to 911 and they say, oh my god, what's happened? Are you okay? Do you need medical assistance? Do you need the police? Anything? And you say, yeah, some guy's actually listening to satanic music. It's called like heavy metal or something. It's totally against the law. And they say, oh my god, yeah, that does sound really illegal. Where are you? We'll come help you. Sweden. Yeah, we're on our way. Just gonna get a cheeky 8-hour, 9-hour flight if that's alright with you, mate. Crazy. What's funny is that I actually went to Sweden not long ago, as most of you know, or some of you probably know, and they're lovely people. So to have, like, as in really, really lovely people. So to have foreigners or tourists come and do like stuff like this and act like this, God, yeah, I really wouldn't be a fan of that if I was a Swedish person in this situation. Now moving on to our second post, Drama Goblin finally gets told by a medical professional she needs mental help. I've written a handful of times about this particular entitled mum. She is notorious for being difficult. She refuses to clean her own house, she refuses to lift or play with her own children, claiming she is too weak. She has 5 of them. She won't watch them or really do much. She relies on her family and her poor husband to raise them. She recently went to the doctor, a one-time very short appointment, and swore she was diagnosed with complex partial seizures, claiming she was having seizures every 5 minutes. She said her brain was essentially rebooting over and over, and that was why she couldn't do anything adult-like. Now, I am skeptical because she had gone on her own and her husband didn't know what exactly the doctor said. After weeks of medication, this drama goblin still hasn't cleaned her house, let alone any of the other changes she swore were coming. She lies in bed and online shops all their money away. This can't be her fault. No, it must be in that the medicine isn't working. She goes back to the doctor and they give her a watch-like thing to wear for a bit. The device would track her seizures and alert her and them if she has a bad one. Drama Goblin is sure that her brain is rebooting, and so there is no way to get her life together. Instead of trying, she starts hounding her husband to have another baby. That will fix everything. The last 4 did. Her husband doesn't want any more. He's overwhelmed with it all as is. She told him she doesn't care what he wants. I told him to go secretly get snipped. He won't, but he needs to. I'm sure I'll be making a Drama Goblin is pregnant post soon. Anyway, on Drama Goblin's follow-up, her husband goes with her this time. He's concerned because of the things Drama Goblin has done or said. He showed the doctor some videos he had of her seizures. The doctor tells Drama Goblin that according to the device, she's not having seizures. Her brain isn't rebooting, that in her professional opinion, she believes Drama Goblin has some undiagnosed mental illness and referred her to a psychiatrist. She was firm, she was kind, but Drama Goblin flipped out and told her she was having seizures. This doctor obviously didn't know what she was talking about. She wanted to speak with her boss because of the way she was talking to her. The doctor pretty much told her to get a second opinion if she didn't believe her, but really pushed seeing someone and getting diagnosed properly. Drama Goblin is fuming. She refuses to contact any psychiatrist. She made an appointment for another doctor and a lawyer because she's convinced this doctor singled her out because she has a disability and can't do certain things. She drives me mad, but dang it if she isn't entertaining. Now, for anyone wondering about my relationship with the drama goblin, as I've said, I've posted many times about her. I've explained. Long story short, she's my childhood best friend. We've grown apart. Before we did, she remarried and her husband and my dear husband ended up being besties. So even though I don't go out of my way to see or speak to her, she's constantly in my life. She's inescapable. She told me a version of what happened as soon as she got home. Her husband also told me what happened. I've known him years now and he's pretty no nonsense. I've never caught him lying or embellishing. She told me herself what the doctor told her, but she's convinced the doctor is a bully. She also told me that her husband and her are trying for another baby. When I asked her husband, he just broke down. Alright, another very interesting story there, but in my opinion, this woman really isn't entitled at all, she just needs help. Like, look, I get it is fun to laugh at entitled people and react to them just being total idiots and stuff like that, but I really don't think this story is one of those times, to be honest. I mean, it's clear that this woman is in a bad place mentally, and I think, you know, this story shows that people who have mental illnesses or mental issues need to be treated as best as possible and not made fun out of, like this post is kind of doing. Like, I do get it from OP's perspective. It's probably annoying having this person in your life and being annoying and horrible and not just going to the doctor like they so obviously need to do. But there's a reason they're not going to the doctor. It's probably because in their mind, as you can see, different stuff is happening to what really is going on in real life with them. Yes, it's obviously hard on her husband, but her husband just wants the best for her, you know? She's his wife after all, and he probably loves her. I hope so anyway. It's just a tough one. Like, I don't really want to laugh at this person. I want to be there for this person and say, look, please just help her, get her to a psychiatrist so she can better her life and stop doing these crazy things, because yes, it's clear that she's not entitled in my opinion. She just has severe mental issues, and that's something that she needs to be helped with, not really laughed at, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe I'm going a bit too deep on that one and maybe you guys disagree with me. Just my thoughts. I don't really want to say, oh, you know, this person's horrible, you know, why doesn't her husband just lock up all her money, leave her, take the kids, don't have another kid? I don't think it's one of those stories, if you kind of get what I'm saying. It's more like, you know, we need to actually help this person. Clearly something is wrong there, and, you know, let's all be aware and you know, get the help to the person that clearly needs it in this situation. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Entitled Parents. Please comment down below. Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm talking absolute rubbish as per usual? Because on that story, the last story in particular, I'm genuinely interested to see what you guys think, whether this person is entitled or whether, you know, it's a bit more serious than that and we should look to help her instead and, you know, try and get the people involved in the story to really switch on and help her and you know, realize that she does need a lot of help, clearly. If you want more from me right away, then you can check out the playlist of all my Entitled Parents videos right there. And if you are new to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on notifications so you get notified each and every time I post a daily video. So yeah, see you tomorrow, turn the notification bell on, and you'll be notified when I post tomorrow.